The birth of Christ within, the birth of Christ within, brings peace to all, brings peace to all, and love and light, and love and light to all the earth, to all the earth. The birth of Christ within, the birth of Christ within, brings peace to all, brings peace to all, and love and light, to all the earth, to all the earth. Awesome. The birth of Christ within, the birth of Christ within, brings peace to all, brings peace to all. Love and light, to all the earth. One more time. The birth of Christ within, the birth of Christ within, brings peace to all, brings peace to all, and love and light, to all the all the earth, to all the earth. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. All righty. Is there anybody here from another Unity today? You're from another Unity? Whereabouts?
I've been here for over 20 years, and then I was in a car accident, then I was disabled. I'm choosing not to be disabled anymore.
Okay. I'm looking for anybody from another Unity church.
In Fort Collins, I wanted that Unity too.
All right, cool. Is there anybody here for the first time? Hold your hand up high if you are. We've got a gift for you.
I'm here for the first time because I haven't been here for 20 years. So I'm rebirth.
Okay. Well, you'll have to hold your hand up high. All right, we have one person here that's here for the first time after 20 years. Come on down. We have a gift for you. No. They're going to come down. They're going to give you a, yes. They're going to come down and give you a gift. All right. This is going to be helpful for you. It's a bag of marijuana. All of you have these flyers in the pew in front of you. If you want to be more connected with Unity, you fill them out. We're able to email you about our special services, classes, and events. And on the back, it has a prayer request area. You can request prayer for yourself or anyone else. And our prayer team, which is praying every day, will pray for whoever you put on that particular flyer, and then you put it in the basket when they pass the basket around. And so we're all here. It's another beautiful day. We want to hold our minds and hearts open. We could use a little snow or a little rain. Yeah, okay. So you're all going to really love this talk being given by Santisha.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. My name is Mike Shadle. I'm the administrator here. If you ever, hello there. Oh, you got to let me get through this, or this is going to take a while. I'm the administrator here. If you ever have any comments, questions, or concerns, please come see me. My office is right over here in the bookstore. And if you're ever looking to have an event, to rent some space, we rent almost every room in this building, not just this huge stage. So please give me a call, and I'd love to chat with you about that. Got a few quick announcements to get through today. Our Christmas services, finally, we have it fully scheduled. We're going to do one performance on December 23rd and another performance on December 24th, both at 6 p.m. It's titled Oh Holy Night. Our wonderful choir is putting it together for you right now. You can get tickets for it for free in the lobby. We do ask you to take tickets. It really helps us kind of count how many people are coming so we can prepare for it. You can get the tickets online for free as well. So please grab those, grab a few extra to bring some friends, some neighbors, or someone who's never seen our Christmas service. We love that. And because it is this season, we are right in the middle of our holiday gift drive for the Lakotas. You'll see we have our gift tree for the children up there, right here in the lobby, and it's got tags on it, and each tag has a name, an age, and a gender. Grab a tag and buy and wrap a gift to deliver here that we will send on up and give a bunch of kids a wonderful Christmas. We're also accepting food so that they can have a big Christmas feast, and there's a big list out in the lobby where you can see the exact items we're looking for. If you see an item you'd like to bring, please check it off the list, cross it off, and then bring it in next week or anytime before the 21st of this month. And also we are accepting any and all warm items to take up there, anything from boots and gloves, coats, warm heaters of any kind, whether they're electric or gas powered, anything to keep people warm. We're not taking, we're not asking for just general donations of stuff. We really want to keep it specific to what is being asked of us. So that's going on right now. Next week at the 11 a.m. service, our preschool over here is going to be having their kids' Christmas party. There'll be cookie decorating, crafts, games. There will be a special visitor from up north, so please make sure you bring your kids for a fun 11 a.m. service next week. We also have our winter solstice celebration coming up here, and that will be led by Norma. That is December 21st at 6:30 p.m. It's right over here in Fellowship Hall. And there's no sign up for that. You can just show right on up at 6:30 p.m. I got Andy Lennox here with his weekly advertisement.
Yeah, I'm on the list there. Andy's going to come up and blab for a little while. Every Sunday morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, what kind of a commercial can I bring to promote the Uniteens program? And it starts from there. And today, as I was in a little meditation, Mother Teresa's words came through, and it was, I know that God doesn't give me more than I can handle. I wish he wouldn't trust me so much. And I felt that like we're all in the same boat at this point, you know, that if you turn on the news or whatever, it's just like Omicron, whatever. Oh man, don't trust me so much, don't trust me so much, don't trust me so much. But I had a wonderful conversation last week with one of the Uniteens, and I had challenged her, like, how do you know God exists? How do you know? Well, because I'm told, blah, 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 blah. And it really dawned on me that God exists in the relationships that we have, in the love that we share with each other. And this is what our kids really need to feel. They need to see God in that relationship, see God in each other's faces. And this is the gift that Unity can provide. And what I've decided to do is not just say, bring me your Uniteens. Show up, all of you, everybody. I have met such wonderful, wonderful people here of all ages, all demographic groups. And when I see the love that we can exchange, even in a smile, in a hug, that's God. And that's what our kids need. You know, they need to feel that. So all of you out there in TV land, wear a mask, get vaccinated, do whatever, but it's really time for all of us to embrace life again, to come out, come to Unity, help build the community, because the community is us. And we can show the love, we can prove, we can show that God does indeed exist, and let's do it for our kids and for each other. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Let's see what else. Oh, this week, this is probably the biggest event going on all Christmas season. This Thursday, we're having our newsletter mailing where we pack envelopes with Christmas letters that go out to our entire congregation. It's free, you don't have to sign up for it, but you come out at 10 a.m. this Thursday, hang out with me, we have some snacks, we listen to music, and we joke around. Usually takes about an hour or 3, but if you're looking for something to do on Thursday morning and want to help out Unity of Boulder, it's a real easy, fun way to help us out. All right, thank you. That's it for our announcements. Now I'd like to welcome out our special musician. Thank you. I'd like to welcome out our special musician today. You might recognize her as a longtime member and soloist in our choir, Susan Bockhoff.
I could sing loud. I could just belt it out there.
We have never been known as an organized religion.
That's a plus in my book, yes. All right, let's give this. Oh, there we are. It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart without saying a word. You light up the dark. Try as I might, I could never explain what's been said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever
beautiful. Thank you. Okay.
For those of you that are watching at home on live stream, if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, hit that little thumbs up or hit that like button. It really helps us get out there and get this message spread a little bit further. So thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Well, that was a beautiful way to start.
Yes,
I love that song. It's a great song.
love it too.
Yeah. All right, so today my talk title is Curiosity is a Key Factor for the Journey of Awakening. When we stop being curious, we dam up the possibility of a new age, a new creation, or dreaming a new world into being. Curiosity is also associated with being receptive to exploring new ideas, feelings, or values which carry their own inherent rewards. Because life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, and a source of continuous revelations. So I want to talk about curiosity, because this is the time where, we're in the first week of December, at least the first Sunday in December, and we start collecting what we've learned this year, what we have accomplished, what we have faced in the last year, so that we're ready to make some intentions, for this next year and plant them. A lot of us wait till like New Year's Eve and we're like, okay, well now what do I want for 2022 or, something like that. And to give reverence to a year, a lot happens in a year, and having that curiosity of why did these things in succession happen, and get some clarity to what you have learned from the things that happened throughout this year, right? So for me, I had the first 3/4 of this year was very there's a lot of loss in this year for me, and I lost one of my best friends and a dog, and I lost 3 really close people besides that. And so it was just a lot of losing people that I depended on and had to find more strength in my being in this world and having a deeper connection with God. Like, I get that as these people have fallen away, that my relationship with God has deepened, and an awareness of the omnipresence and the miracles that came in those voids, right? There was moments of void and sense of being alone. But in that time, it was revealing to myself some deeper truths about my own being and the connection with Spirit, and how Spirit moves in and through and divinely sends us people, sends us situations to help us heal on a deeper level from these outer experiences. I mean, these people are heart-based with us, but physically they've left us to now be in the truth of our being and let some healing be revealed. In the midst of those things falling away, I had an amazing experience with one of my children who I didn't know that she was ready to awaken and come into her being and into her soul, but I got to mirror with a daughter for months a healing journey that she went on. And I didn't know if it would ever happen. There was just some soul stuff she came in with that kept her blocked to a lot of understanding and knowledge, and she probably was the one that I was most concerned with. And I started asking good questions, curious questions, trying to find where the soul was trying to land in her being so that she could have greater joy, greater peace, greater self-confidence, all the things that we really need to thrive in life. And finally, one day I asked her a question, and it landed. And it was like a tidal wave just started coming out of her. The truth that came out of this little person, she was ready to show up for herself. And so that started this journey for us to be working together. But I realized what she was going through is also mirroring and healing some of the stuff that I didn't ever come into my truth about at that age. And so it was really a powerful, wonderful experience. So really collecting, looking back on the past year and taking that time right now to give some revelation, giving some light to what was amazing this last year and what was difficult and what has been born in you, because this season's about the birth of Christ within us, that Christ potential as us, for this world, for ourselves. So really taking in, a little inventory about what was going on with your year this year. And what shifted and what happened and who came into your life and started mirroring some powerful stuff to help you start to come up to that which you are really here to do and be. And I know that everybody's been having an intense year because we had the year of COVID where there was just no assurity. We didn't know what was going to happen next. So we kind of just were all floating in that energy. But then this year we were trying to put feet underneath. How do we function? What has been revealed? And what are we going to create as a new for this world and for ourselves? So curiousness, asking ourselves the big questions of why certain things showed up in our lives. And, bringing some energy to that and letting Spirit answer that. I've always had a over-curious being. Ever since I was a little kid, my parents would be like, oh my God, why'd you ask that person something so honest, and I just didn't know that people didn't do that. I just asked about whatever, and people would always answer me, and then my mom like, just it was just like because I knew people want to share stuff. They really, really do. And if you ask them a really good, curious question, they want to answer it, But sometimes that backfired on me. There was one time I was really little, and I was just mesmerized by this fat bumblebee that was on this sunflower. And I just was captivated. I was just taken into that fuzzy bottom of it. It was just like, oh my gosh, I just was so connected, and I just had to touch it. I just had to. And of course, I got stung, and that was the first time I ever got stung by a bee, because I just was I just wanted to pet its rear end. It just was so cute, so that was the first, bee sting. I remember another time I was in trouble. My father had come to high school and found out that I had 100 unexcused absences from high school. So it was not a good day for me. And he took me to Alfalfa's Market, which is no longer here, but he took me there to eat and be like, what are we going to do with you? I just, what is going on? And he was not happy with me at the moment. And there was this cactus, a furry cactus sitting on the table in front of us, and it was just I couldn't handle the stress, and it was I just wanted something soft, so I touched this cactus, and it got all, it was what is wrong with you? You're in trouble? It was just what is this? So, I've been bitten by my curiosity, let's just put it that way. I just wanted something soft, and it looked so soft, and then it turned on me. So, I'll move on. I digressed a little bit. I just had that memory right before I walked out here. Do you remember me doing that? No. Petting that cactus? And you know those soft cactuses, it looks like...
A lot of stupid.
Yeah. So something will occur in our lives when the soul is ready to wake up. It could be a health scare or near-death experience that we have. It could be losing a parent, spouse, or a child. Loss of identity when we lose our job, a divorce. Then come the signs of feeling that your life is empty, maybe, devoid of real meaning and purpose. It is as though you are lost in the woods and you keep trying to find a trail back to your car, but you are just wandering and starting to panic. You feel as though something is lost or missing in your life, like there is this giant hole that you keep walking around. I felt that way at the beginning of this year. You don't know what it means, except that you have to find something to make your life meaningful. You start questioning everything you have been taught. Either you have abandoned God or you feel that God has abandoned you. There may be a sense of injustice. You may feel like a blind person groping about in the darkness. Loved ones may be trying to help you and you just want everyone to leave you alone. In fact, it seems to be necessary. If you are to figure this out, you must be alone. But life is a challenge. It is a dance between self-centeredness and a cooperative self that is aware of and seeking the creative forces, the good forces, and a love for all. So I wanted to share a little story about a friend that I've had for many years who comes in sporadically and always has really deep insights about life. And I always look forward to talking with him because he just has a perspective that is so out of the box and out of the ordinary. And whenever he leaves, I mull over for weeks, like the consciousness that this person holds and the perspective that he holds. But this is one of the stories that he shared with me, and I'm going to read it to you. So I was meeting a friend of mine who has been coming to our church about his awakening. He's been coming here for about 15 years. Larry, who is 70 years old at this point in time, had a very promising future out of high school. He had a girlfriend for 3 years during high school that ended over kid stuff, trust issues, but there was a deep love there and he never found it again in anyone. He went off to Vietnam soon after high school and was on the battlefield and witnessed horrors that many of us could never imagine that changed him forever. He returned shell-shocked, or what they call now PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. He came back a completely different person than the man who entered the military. On his return, he met his wife and proceeded to have children with her and has spent the last 50 years married. But his entire family only knew the broken version of him. They had never met the original, powerful soul that he was, and he stayed like until about 15 years ago when he met a horse named Maverick, who was a severely abused horse that didn't trust anyone, anything, and especially not people. And Larry, being a lifelong horse guy, took this horse on to help heal and build his confidence. But there was something else in store for Larry. Larry would spend full days with Maverick in a wide open field where he energetically just sent love to the horse, and if the horse even took one step towards him from the other side of the field, he would see it as a successful day with Maverick. This was a slow process of just being in the presence, observing energetically what he was sending out, and when he was totally free of himself and spirit was moving through him, the horse would feel that and start walking closer and closer to him. When Maverick finally trusted Larry, he became his best friend. He doesn't ride the horse. He sees him as an equal partner with himself. But what Larry realized is that all that holding spirit's energy to attract Maverick had actually called his soul back from the broken shards of this war experience. They were healing each other. So the way out is to follow the feeling of giving and receiving. This is a quote from him. The way out is the following and the receiving of giving and receiving love and affection, having no agenda and restoring a quiet mind. As Larry was awakening to his wholeness again, he wanted to share with his wife all that was unfolding and his grown kids, but it fell on deaf ears. This was all too esoteric for him. For his wife, she was Baptist, and him using words like quiet mind and meditation and energy and intuition and psychic abilities was pulling her further and further apart from him. You see, the family was stuck and was holding the frequency of his brokenness. But he had heightened his consciousness and frequency so much that they didn't want to be around that, because the broken version of him was what they knew. And consequently, the children did come around, but the marriage ended up suffering greatly because of it. So I bring this story up for all of us. We don't all necessarily have a Maverick in our life that's going to work with our subtle energy systems to work where our frequencies are from time to time. But I've actually worked with Maverick, and for the last 8 years at our angel camp in the summer, Maverick comes here and we work with the children and let them work with their subtle energies of what they're giving to see when the horse responds. It's a really beautiful experience because this horse is healing people at this point after being able to do this for Larry. But let me ask you a question, because if we're curious, then we ask questions about why did this happen? How did this happen for him? Do you think that Maverick, the horse coming into Larry's life, is just a coincidence? No. This was probably a divine intervention, wouldn't you think? It was time. He was ready to heal, to come out of the brokenness. We don't all have to be broken because we've been in war, but the brokenness that we've experienced through life, through heartbreaks, through losses of jobs, through all of the things that make us sometimes build up a wall between us and other, when what we really need to be working on is our frequencies and opening our heart. I believe this was a divine intervention that entered in Larry's life the moment he was ready to heal. Maybe not consciously, but some divine force knew that this relationship was going to produce a complete healing. If we get curious and we start asking questions about things happening in our own lives, then when we are ready to get in alignment for a full healing in any particular situation or circumstance that we're facing, then we will align ourselves and something will show up. It may be all done with the power that's living within you, and it may be done through other people or a situation or a revelation or a dream. But it takes that faith and knowing and that curiosity of spirit that this is a mystery. Life is a mystery, and it's miraculous. And we can experience it from this whole other view that we don't have to live broken. That's not a spiritual virtue. Our spiritual virtue is to know ourselves aligned with this greater power, this greater love that heals absolutely everything if we'll only let it. In the book Agartha, it says, moving forward, following the path of the star, is each person's inalienable right. Call it divine destiny. While there is choice as to the specifics that will fill each life, there is no choice as to whether one will or will not ultimately progress. All energy moves forward toward perfection and completion. And therefore, life as it is known to each moves forward, allowing the opportunity for mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual experiences to shatter personal illusion by seeing the reality of the total being. Seeing the reality of the total being. We have to really get broader in our view to be able to see the reality of the total being. Because honestly, the cuts, the breaks, the shadows are something that we're repeating, we're speaking to, we're speaking from, and we're keeping it alive and well. Instead of looking from the whole being, the whole purpose. We're not here to hurt, we're here to love. We're here to heal. And if we're continuing telling the stories of the things that hurt us, then we're just going to repeat more and more and more of experiences that will reflect that that's who you are, versus speaking to wholeness. What does wholeness feel like? It is, after all, not each soul's choice to begin this process of personal evolution, but God's. Each elemental energy is like a sponge placed in a puddle of ink, consciously and superconsciously absorbing all things. Yet where is the conscious memory of the motion that placed each in the puddle in the beginning? It often appears as only a vague sense of connectedness, slipping in and out of the cloud cover of physical life, pulling each in spite of himself toward the inevitable union with God. The inevitable union with God. That's some powerful stuff right there. And it's inevitable, but you can push it off pretty good, and you can push it down the road quite a ways as well, if you aren't ready to become aware of what you're doing to keep yourself from this divine union with God. So how do we navigate the journey inside us? That's a curious question. How do we navigate the journey inside ourselves? If life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived and a source of continuous revelation, what do we have to do to open up to that?
You want us to answer?
No. Answer yourself. Sometimes I will have you put your hand in the air or something like that. But so I like to search out different ways, like working with intuition, doing things like thinking of certain friends and seeing, kind of almost giving a timeline that they'll call me. Working with that intuition and seeing them so in my mind's eye, like the feeling that they bring to my life, the vibration, the perfume they wear, and almost 90% of the time they will call me. And just that validation reminds me of this direct union that I have with God. I'll do it with my animals. I'll call them from the other room and I'll say, turkey time in my mind. And they come tearing into the kitchen. It's just fun to play with this energy of the universe, that these words, we think the words are the communicators, but it's actually the frequency that is the communicator. And really building that knowing that this union with God can actually help us overcome any obstacle that's in our way, and also help us overcome any obstacle that's in us, that's keeping us from our true selves, our true lives. So to recognize the abilities that exist in yourself, not to make someone outside of you special who will predict your future, that is, maybe acting like they know God better than you, but you getting to know that you are the master of your own life and bringing about the healing that's needed. That doesn't mean that we don't need powerful friends that are mirroring back the power that's in us. That's super helpful. Having a prayer partner, having someone that does work with your subtle energies, I recommend all of those things. How do you navigate the journey inside you? Curiosity is the first step down the path of awakening. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived and a source of continuous revelation. In Edgar Cayce's readings, he warns the children of God, the children of the law of one, as he often referred to them, to seek and maintain their awareness of the divine forces, for these will protect them. Edgar Cayce, the most documented psychic of all time, and really pretty close to our time here, is saying that you have to become aware of the divine forces. So everything that happens has divine order in it as well, even if it feels like your life is over from a horrible tragedy or something that's happened in your life. There will be circumstances in life that we do face where we feel that all the good, all the love has left us. But it's in those moments that it deepens our understanding of our union with this greater power, this greater love. The spiritual path is not for sissies, it's for sure. When we sign up to have, be a conscious co-creator with the divine, we're given obstacles, more obstacles in a way, to see how our energy faces the trials and tribulations of life. But what you will find when you're working your meditation and doing your practice and speaking affirmations of positivity and heightening your frequencies and seeing yourself as a light being, that you move through those tribulations much quicker because you don't push up against it. You flow with it. So it is the being alone that allows us to go within. It is important when we start on this path to enlightenment to understand the need for space for just sitting and going within, to create the space for connection, to see what is crying out to be released as not being part of our authentic self, to regenerate and renew the pieces of us that were killed off as part of social conditioning, the parts we buried because we were told it wasn't safe to be who we really are. It takes a great deal of courage to go within and choose to be our true selves. Carl Jung wrote, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." And I need a little sip of water. In the vortex. just going to go on from there. In the Vortex, Esther and Jerry Hicks says this: your life is supposed to feel good to you. Before your birth, you knew that the primary component of your physical experience that would offer the greatest value for your personal and collective expansion and joy would be the component of the relationship you would experience with each other. It was your plan to relish the diversity of your relationships and to choose from them the details that would make up your creations, and here you are. So, I was communicating with a friend of mine in the last 24 hours, and she sent me this article about what's happening astrologically right now, or what's happening with our planets. And right now, and it's written by a person named Alex Miles, it writes, during this Sagittarius new moon eclipse, which has been happening the last few days, it is as though the universe takes a snapshot of our lives, and the scene it captures sets the tone for the next 6 months. So I'm going to just take you, so we don't look at the full year, and just look at the last 3 days to a week. Has something really big shifted in your life in this time? Because something powerful is happening right now, and I felt this majorly, like a major opening and all of it. So in this last week, some snapshot of showing us where we are going in 6 months is happening for many people. And if not, don't worry about it. Therefore, it is absolutely vital that while in this eclipse energy, we hold a firm visualization of what we want our life to look like, and then remain focused and clear about the intentions we wish to set and exactly how we want them to manifest. Something many of us may have been noticing is that we have been holding ourselves back from living the life we dream of purely because deep fears have set in, and these fears have prevented us from accepting the opportunities and blessings that have passed our way. We may have been so blinded by both rational and irrational fears that we haven't even been aware that we have been offered numerous chances to take the reins and effortlessly create the life we have been dreaming of. And I love the word effortlessly, so we don't have to get concerned, because you might have been just given a snapshot that would possibly mean that you'd have to take to task a lot of change and would reveal a completely new set of situations in your life. And if that's the case, that also means a lot of things would fall away in that process. And so that can trigger fear, and that can also trigger the pain body. Right? And the pain body will do everything we can, if we see that snapshot, to talk us out of going forward with that vision we were shown. So who in the last 7 days was given a snapshot of where you should be in 6 months? Has anybody had that vision in the last few months where you're really clear where you should be in 6 months? So about half of you had this in the last week. And stay open, because this is still happening right now. Right? Staying open, being very aware from the spiritual being in you, not the physical, but the spiritual being that's being told and showing you how you can now take the reins of your life and have it be abundant unto you. Right? So we have to be very careful with the pain body, because it will try to make us scared. And it's the shadow that's kept us living small to this time. We will just keep repeating, doing things the same way, because we do want that revelation. We want that end result, but it's scary to do the things that would take us to get to that end result. So we got to not speak to that lower nature, that lower part of ourselves that's saying, no, stop, this is nerve-wracking. This means this would be too much change. And instead, you just feel love and peace in your heart, and set yourself into a state of allowance of all this good that is unfolding. This can and will be the beginning of your new and renewed life. So relaxing into it. This is where surrender, like faith, like true faith, true peace in knowing that something great is happening. And that means we don't have to figure out how we're going to get down to this end result. Otherwise, that can trigger the shadow or the pain body because go, no, 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 that's a lot of change. That's too much. But how many people have been wanting to awaken to this new earth, to this new consciousness, to the greater consciousness that will actually keep Earth a functioning place for humans? It always starts with us. We are the collective energy. We are that omnipresence that's moving through us to bring us back to our true nature, which is God in action. But you have to believe that about yourself. You have to know that about yourself. And you have to speak to that power that lives within you. To let the things fall away. And it's still, and I loved those words, that it's going to be done easily. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It doesn't have to be scary. You see, when you wake up spiritually, you realize you never left because you remember who you really are. Take this in right now. When you wake up spiritually, you realize you never left. You remember who you really are. In Luke 17:20 through 21, it says, being asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, he answered them, the kingdom of God is not coming in ways that can be observed, nor will they say, look, here it is, or there. For behold, the kingdom of God is in the midst of you. For behold, the kingdom of God is in the midst of you. And anything that's blocking you from this kingdom of God in the midst of you is the blocks that we put up between ourselves and our truth. Ourselves and our truth. All right, so we have to ask bigger questions from curiosity. Now I'm going to let you open up and ask me some questions. Ask the universe some questions and see if you get some answers the next day or two. What's a good question to find out from Spirit? What would you like answered?
My hands up.
Oh, I had light my...
Elizabeth,
Huh?
Chloe Elizabeth, you
Oh.
remember me.
Mm-hmm.
Walking to the bank and Jasmine Elizabeth.
All right, we have to make it very quick so we give somebody else a chance.
My question is, my statement is, you know you're God. We're all God. We're all Buddha. We're all Jesus. We're all Holy Spirit. Yes?
All right, but how do we put that into a question?
Okay. Do you believe that now? That we're all one? God, Jesus, Buddha, Babaji, Ananda.
Okay. So she wants to know if we all know that we are God, Buddha, Ananda, all of the names that we have for God. Who believes that we are? Right, so if we know that, and what that was saying, that the kingdom of heaven is in the very midst of us, then there's no challenge that can't be overcome in this moment. In this moment. By holding this power of this divine, the divine that's in us, that's calling us to our wholeness. And what we can do is work the same miracles as Jesus. And he said so, that we will. If we take this into our heart, we can heal our physical bodies. We can manifest things out of the air. We can attract us that which we have desired. And we can love from our guts everything about our life. If we will only let it. So, I just want to take us into a meditation. We're going to run a little bit over. Are you guys okay with that? The announcements went a little long today. We need to cut those back, guys. Just a touch. Just a sketch, that's all. So, let's go into meditation. Let's get both of your feet on the ground so that you're rooting your feet. And those pews have you sitting like this. So try to get your sit bones underneath you and not let the back of the pew support your back. And get your core engaged, and let's just connect with the frequency of Spirit. source. So I'm going to just have you just close your eyes and just start taking some deep breaths in and out with that. In again. I want to hear you breathing out. Let's do it again. So I just want you to visualize your third eye, which is located in the middle of your forehead between your eyebrows. And just like start visualizing light entering your forehead from this universe, from Father Sky, and just letting it come into your head. And just relaxing and coming into your whole forehead and face and mouth. Relaxing any tension that you have in your face, in your mouth, in your forehead, in your eyes. And now seeing that light going down your throat, into your shoulders, into your chest. Just relaxing any tension in your shoulders. And just calming the heart. The light is still coming down into your major organs and bringing absolute peace and love and healing to every aspect of your vehicle. And it's going down, more light down into the hips and the root chakra, down into the legs, the knees, the calves, the feet. Now seeing this light going down into the earth. So you're going down 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet. And now visualize that there is a large amethyst rock, like the size of a boulder, way down deep in the ground. And let this light now just surround this amethyst, peace and love energy. So we're connected to Father Sky. It's now rooted with the amethyst. We're now going to visualize a pink light coming out of the amethyst. The white light's anchored, and now we're going to see the pink light climbing up the white. Going up from the 15 feet to 10 to 5. This pink light now is entering the bottoms of your feet and taking the same track of this light, Father Sky energy, which is white or blue or whatever you've been using, and it's climbing up through your body until it also is coming out of your third eye and going into the abyss, into the spiritual realm. So now again, I'm going to give you the opportunity to bring to mind something that was significant in the last few days, or weeks, or even months, that may have sparked a knowing, a snapshot into your future. And connect with the highest frequency of love in the feeling of this experience. Collect the insight that you've received from it. The subtle energy shift that happened in that moment. This was a view into what you are ready to bring into your greater focus than you ever have been ready before. Grab only onto the empowerment of this experience, lifting up your frequency to a sense of radiating love for yourself and for this unfoldment. Let go of trying to control and rather surrender into this gentle shift. And hold yourself in this lasting embrace of the universe. Bring yourself in this meditation where you give the reins to yourself that have been handed from Spirit to you. And keep your mind and your soul on the manifesting power of your uniting with this frequency. And know there is nothing to fear and everything to gain. This is the shift. This is the time that we all have been preparing for. It will be wonderful if you're willing to flow with the current of it. I'm going to say that again. It will be wonderful if you are willing to flow with the current of it. Just sit in that current. It is wonderful to remember who we truly are. And when we do remember who we truly are, you will never lose it. That is a state of awakening. Everything else will fall into place from there. So now I'm going to have you visualize the Father Sky light to start entering back, and the Mother Divine Nature back into your head, so that we're not just completely spaced out when we come back, and bring it back into your body and pull the light from the amethyst back into your body. And bring your attention to your sitting in this seat. There's nothing to worry about. To stay in the frequency of this connection and this knowledge and this knowing that is already you. And blessed, be blessed. Feel this love and take it with you as a gift. Amen.
You woman.
We'll take an offering for unity now. As we're preparing to do this, just like you to share in that love, that beautiful experience that we're offering. This is what unity is all about. And we have freely received this beautiful love and the insights we need to transcend the difficulties and the challenges that are before us. So we can live from a higher place. We can bless from that place and be blessed even in the process of dealing with difficulties and challenges in our personal lives. It's a phenomenal message. So as we think about that, let's bring to mind the gift we want to make to Unity of Boulder so we can continue to do what we do here in Unity. And those of you that are watching this on the screen, you see here all the different ways that you can donate to Unity of Boulder. And bring to mind, everyone, that financial gift you'd like to make to Unity. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.
And now we'd like to welcome back to our stage Susan Bockhoff and her sister Cecilia.
Very nice. Thank you for that awesome music. You guys were great today. Y'all look really dapper in your Christmas clothing. I thank you for that.
You look cool. You look like a band.
All right, so you can pick up your Christmas Eve tickets. They're free, but you do have to have a ticket to get into the Christmas Eve services that are on the 23rd at 6 and the 24th at 6. You can also download them on our website at unityofboulder.com. So,
They're out in the lobby on a
Yeah.
table. In the lobby. Our Christmas tickets are out there.
And I would like to say that if you feel like standing up and you feel like singing and moving, you do that here. You
We're
get
doing the
up
songs.
and you join in what's going on. Nobody here is just wanting just to entertain you and let you sit there. If you feel something, get up. The words are up there and sing.
When it's song time.
Wow.
all right, let's all rise. Oh, we have prayer partners available to you. If you're facing a issue right now, you just stay seated and a prayer partner will come and find you. All right. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go in the Spirit.
The Spirit run my